What's up? I'm Noelle at Noelle's Notions, and this is Fame by the Flame with Mile High Music.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Elias from Mile High.
Almost that. It's good.
Hey, so I got the boys with the bass here. EDM collective, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
So I talked to you guys earlier about like your elevator speeches, but for those of you guys that don't know, these guys have their hands in a whole bunch of different stuff beyond just actually spinning records. So I really want to talk about your collective and where you guys started from. Maybe we can start at the beginning of how you two met.
Okay. Well, I'm from a small town. It's called Oakdale. It's about an hour and a half away from here, and I met Lestat in high school, and we used to throw these crazy parties back in the day. We would just send out forwards to everyone, and about 300 to 400 people would show up.
Okay.
There was actually this one time where we threw a mansion party, and Lestat was DJing, and I saw him, and I was like, all right, I gotta...
It was love at first sight.
It was love at first sight.
I'm DJing, and someone comes up to me and is like, hey, this guy wants to talk to you right now. And I was like, who? And they wouldn't let him through for some reason. And then finally, he comes up the stairs and grabs me. He's like, dude, you dropped this one song. And right when I heard it, I was like, dude, I have to talk to this person. And I was like, all right, what's going on here? And then he was just like, if you're serious about this music stuff, let's create something. Let's actually take this whole house party scene and create this big thing and throw kind of like rent out these hall parties and, you know, do it correctly, because we would throw these fat ass parties and then all my friends' parents were getting hella pissed off because we're breaking windows, like thrashing their whole houses, and they're just getting like just hella mad at us.
Yeah.
So for him to come up to me and say, let's take it to the next level, I was just like, yes, like this is going to be like the next step.
Yeah, from like houses to hotels, right? Like actually like bigger events.
Let's
like,
do it properly and
Absolutely.
professional.
Okay.
So from there, we created a plan, and we designed this plan to create a company called Unity, which we thought would bring everyone together, you know, Unity.
Yeah.
So we rented out a hall for his birthday, actually.
Okay.
It was probably illegal.
Like super illegal. Like there was supposed to be no alcohol. It just said beer and champagne. And we hired 3 security guards, and all security got drunk.
Yeah.
They didn't charge anybody through the door, and everyone had bottles walking in, and we're just like, oh my god.
See, that's how you get away with it. People don't read the fine print.
Yeah,
like,
so we're just like,
no alcohol, like served. That doesn't mean I can't bring my own, right?
Exactly. So everyone brought their own bottles.
Yeah.
Anyways, we threw this party, and it was cracking. Like there were so many people there. Our production was a little low this time. But when we were there that night and we met face to face after the night, we were like, all right, next time, let's do this for real.
Yeah.
So we did it, and we met these guys called Raise the Bass, and they knew a company called Random Nights, which actually throws Bump Music Festival in Stockton.
Okay.
And they reached out to us, and they wanted to sponsor us. So we were like, okay, let's do this. So we threw the event, and they came through. We spent like $300 or $400 on production, and we got like $2,000 worth of production.
Okay.
We had backdrops, we had lasers, we had lights, full sound system, rails, everything.
Dope.
And it was cool. We had the place packed, and they had their own little tent back there, which made everything look so professional. We threw the night. I think we came close to making our money back, but at the time we didn't really care.
Like it's fine. It's fine. We
Yeah.
got babes. We got bottles. We got babes.
Yeah.
Like it's all the V's are fixed.
Exactly. You know how it is. So we threw the event. It was successful, and ever since then we've kept a great relationship with Random Nights because of what they saw what we could do when we were that young.
Yeah.
Progressing forward, we've played several shows with Random Nights. We've played Sounds of Summer. They invited us to play Bump. We didn't play it that year for personal reasons. And moving forward, we decided to collaborate as New Wave with a company called Symphonic. Actually, no. Backspace a little bit.
Okay.
We collabed with Hybrid.
Okay.
So we were taking over Sky KTV for about 6 months, I would say.
Shout out the boys at Sky KTV.
Yeah, shout out Mel. So we were doing that for a while, and we threw house music events, and then we decided to throw some bass music events with National Entity. We were doing all their pre-parties for all their big shows. We brought out Slimes and Crystallize and several local artists like Checkmate.
Yep.
Who else? We played a one. Joy Zoo was out there. Shout out Joy Zoo.
Yeah.
That was cool, man. I really liked it. And then from there, we realized we could do something bigger.
Okay.
So these guys from Symphonic Events came to one of our shows, and they were like, hey, we really don't have a stage manager. We don't have anyone to do our artists. Do you guys want to work with us? So we did their spring bass show with Luca Lush.
Yeah.
And that was really, really cool. I got invited back to like an after party, and so did he. We went to their after party. We hung out with Joy Zoo. We hung out with Luca Lush all night long. And that night, I was like, like we're really making strides right now. We could do this.
Yeah.
So from there, we merged together into Symphonic Events.
Okay.
And we were doing events with Eliminate and G-Rex, and we booked several other big names at the Rink Studios, actually.
Yeah. Shout out to the crew at the Rink.
Yeah.
So lit.
We were there.
Oh, well.
There's personal problems with the Rink.
Yeah. It was,
well, we'll skate around that, right?
Yeah, we'll skate around that. It was cool. We had a great time. The production was amazing, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, they have a huge LED wall. We had lasers. We had the best sound. California Pro Sound and Light. If you need sound and light, hit them up. My boy Scott will hook you up. It was tight. From there on, we just kept moving forward. We did like a few events there. We did like a local event, and then we did some big events there as well. Eventually, the owner suggested that we do a weekly, and then that's kind of when we split ways. So so then we moved to the Republic, where we were doing bass therapy for a while, and that's still going on now. Every Tuesday at the Republic, we split. I have a child, so we split ways, and we're kind of doing our own thing now. You know, we run a media company, and we do New Wave Records, and we're also a part of a collective called BLC, which actually curated from San Francisco.
Okay.
We met this guy named Raphael, who goes by Hellcat, and he like instantly vibed with us. We were just like, hey man, like we want to do this with you. So we were like admins for the collective.
Okay. Well, so with all this, all this under your belt in terms of like, starting from like just the seed of an idea, right? To then like having all these shows, all these other entrepreneurs, these other musicians, other talents being all brought in. What has changed in your perception of what you guys are doing over the years? Like, if that makes sense. Like, you guys started kind of like under somebody else's company. Now you guys are running your own and your own collective. Like, what has changed in terms of like your personal and maybe your like professional growth?
Well, at first we were just young, dumb kids having fun, getting drunk. And then when we progressed, we realized like how serious we wanted to take it. So now it's not about getting drunk. It's not about going out and partying for us. It's really all...
Like, oh, well,
kind of. We're a little bit about the partying still.
Partying is fun, of course.
But partying in a professional way, right? Like, you guys are creating music that it's not just on some, like, oh, I'm twacked out and I'm, like, spinning, like, random things on the stage, right? It's actually, like, you guys have a methodology in terms of how you guys are moving within the scene.
Of course.
So I guess another question I have for you is, what is, the Sacramento scene to you guys? Because you guys have a big influence in Sacramento in terms of what you guys are doing.
Which is kind of crazy because, like, when Elias and I first started, we were separate. Like, we were never, like, actually going into this as a duo.
Okay.
So, going into, like, the music scene in general, we were introduced to San Francisco, like, which was EPR, now Amplify. When Amplify, like, first started, we were separate. And that's when we met Raphael. That was the whole collective of BLC. So after we played like 2-3 sets, like separate from each other, to where Raphael pulled us aside and was like, "Hey, like I like you guys' vibe. This is pretty cool. You guys should be part of Bad Luck Club." And then from there, we were like in the Bay Area scene, which because we're from the Valley, so for us to like constantly like drive back and forth to the San Francisco scene is like. That's a mission for us, especially because we work full-time jobs where like we have to wake up at 6 a.m., work all the way 8 hours. That's when we kind of like pulled back and we're like, all right, what is a scene that's closest to us? So which is like Sacramento. And that's when we kind of got involved with like Hybrid and like National Entity, like just in that whole group, which is like a really like a tough transition for us because we were scared to kind of throw away what we had built.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a really big step.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's definitely kind of putting your faith in others when you guys have worked so hard for your individual paths, but ultimately